Hi, this video is about a lesser-known data type in JavaScript, the symbol. I will go over what it is, how to use it, and most importantly, when to use it properly. So let's begin. Let's start with all the primitives of JavaScript. They include string, number, big int, boolean, undefined, and null. Null is a special case where it behaves like a primitive, but it isn't officially considered one. If you want to know the nitty-gritty, please look at the MDN web docs. And of course, we have symbol. Each data type on the left comes with the wrapper object in JavaScript, which means they have their own methods and properties. The items on the right only come in their primitive form. To create a symbol, you call symbol like an ordinary function. You can't use the keyword new for this data type, so this line would return a raw primitive. Symbols are also unique, so if you were to create two symbols with identical names, they wouldn't equal each other. Symbols are not enumerable, so if a symbol was the key of a JavaScript object, it wouldn't appear in a for loop when iterating over the keys. So right now you might be wondering, what's a symbol used for? It seems like a strangely restrictive string, or an enum. According to MDN, a symbol may be used as an object property. Let's try to look at a few examples. Here, I've created a person object with three keys, ID, message, and the symbol secret. If I were to stringify this JavaScript object using json.stringify, it wouldn't include the symbol key-value pair. That's because json.stringify iterates over the keys in the object, and as we just learned, symbols are not enumerable. If we try to access the symbol key using the following, we would get undefined. Remember, symbols are unique. Calling symbol secret generates a new symbol, which is different from the key inside our person object. For the same reason as json.stringify, object.getOwnProperty names would only return non-symbol keys. But before you start thinking, oh, is symbol a way of making variables and methods private in JavaScript? No. It's to limit the access of properties by certain functions, like the one shown here, but in no way are these properties private. To get the exact handle of the symbol inside our person object, you can call something like object.getOwnPropertySymbol. This would allow you to access the secret message in our person object. By now, we know two symbols with the same name don't need to equal each other. But in the previous example, what if we wanted some of our code to access the secret message? We could store the symbol in a global variable, but that would be a little dirty. Instead, we could use symbol.for. This creates the symbol in something called the symbol registry. The registry allows us to store and reuse our symbols across our page, and even across realms. Think iframes if you don't know what realms are. Just make sure your symbols are unique so they don't collide with existing symbols from any libraries you may import. One way to solve this issue is to prefix your symbols. In this example, I prefix my symbols with the word foo. Even if you don't end up creating your own symbols, you should be aware of the ones that already exist baked into JavaScript. These are some of them. These symbols are used in JavaScript objects as keys for common methods. If you create your own JavaScript object and name a function using the toPrimitive symbol, you'll affect how this object gets treated when using primitive operators. I'll show you an example to clarify this. I've once again created a person class and set a function as the value of symbol.toPrimitive. The function is simple. When hint is number, I'll return the person's age. When hint is string, or anything else, I'll return the person's name. When I'm using the person object in context of strings, the toPrimitive function is called with hint as string. Thus, hello John will be logged. When I try to use math operators with the person object, hint will be number, thus use the person's age. In this example, I made a class called EvenArray. By creating a method with the key symbol.iterator, I've overridden how we iterate over the object's items. In this class, it will only iterate through the even-indexed items when looped. If you aren't familiar with the star character or the yield keyword, you can look up generator functions on MDN. When I create my even array and iterate over it, 0, 2, and 4 will be logged. I hope you're slowly seeing the power of symbols and how it can really clean up your code if used properly. To summarize, symbol is among 6 other JavaScript primitives plus null. You can't create a new symbol using the new keyword. 2 newly created symbols with the same name are not equal. You can't enumerate over symbol properties of an object. Symbols can be stored and accessed using the symbol registry. There are well-known symbols already being used right beneath your feet. Thanks a lot. This was JavaScript Symbols.